We might say life consists of consciousness, being a conscious human being, heart, and mind and body, the makeup of us as sentient beings on this earth, and the world in which we live. And the view that we have, I am living in the world, and the world is full of different things, is a socially agreeable view in which probably the vast majority of people agree with. I'm a human being living in the world. I was born, I live, and I die. And this perception and this view is rather deeply embedded into us, as if it's the truth. So here is this, the body, the physical, and embedded in it, so to speak, are the senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch. In just the opening of the eyes, there is a process which takes place, which is common to all human beings without exception. And the very immediate impression actually is a patch of colour. Very, very quickly, that patch of colour becomes a perception, meaning I open my eyes and it seems like it's completely simultaneous between the opening of the eye, the patch of the colour, and recognizing right now the perception is there is a group of people who are in front of me. There's the touch, the recognition, and then there is the view of what is looked at, what is perceived there. And from that immediate touch upon us, that can then start a process. And that process can give certain values to what I look at. The shaping of the view of what we perceive, we believe is based on what's there, and we forget it's based on our history. It's based on our conditioning. The development of the senses in the Dharma is to really develop the use of our eyes, the use of our ears and the other senses, really open it out with, this is the challenge, without wanting what I see and hear. Something is going on due to the lack of development of the senses, that instead of expanding our eyes and ears, what we are doing, we are using our senses in a corrupt way to destroy the earth. Is there a way I can feel greater joy and happiness through all the senses without the desire to have to own? There are two things I want to look at in the feeling life in relationship to what I look at. One of them is called attraction, and the other is called aversion. And these two forces inside of attraction and aversion, when they land on the object, her, him, this or that, whatever it may be, it imposes upon the object a kind of value or a significance which is not in the object. The exaggerated value with regard to the attraction towards the object invests the object with more than it has in it, we believe the object will make me happy. We know it is attraction, that means it's a magnetic pull, which has not really been, we are not clear about. It pulls us over, and we know when we're pulled into it, because we get some pleasure if we get it, and we experience unrest or irritation or upset if we don't. And we want to just notice how easily there is the perception, the impression, the recognition, and then sometimes the aversion towards. And similarly, it can happen with the attraction element. So there is this attraction to the past, which was not as good as we imagined. And that leads to an aversion to the present. But it's the same. I can look to the future with great attraction. How great it will be, how lovely it will be. And the outcome of that is resistance to the present, because I imagine a better future. But what is in common of the past, present and future? It's obvious. Sights, sounds, smells, tastes and touch, and our relationship to it. The Dharma, teachings and practice, is primarily a clarity about not investing in that attraction and aversion way, so that the heartfulness is deep, and the friendship, the empathy and the kindness is there, the warmth and the sensuality is there, the appreciation for beauty is there, the recognition of the problematic in the world is there, but it's not in that force of attraction and aversion. It's something deeper, something not conditioned by our history. We have an interest in an awareness which is open and expansive. And this awareness, which is open and expansive, can accommodate. We can allow the seeing and hearing, the senses, just to move through the life, to appreciate them, to be with the rhythm and the flows of each day. Because we're not trapped in wanting and rejecting. This expansive awareness stands on the edge of the timeless and the time. And what I mean by that is, everything which we see, hear, smell, taste and touch, obviously is in the field of time. And that awareness which reveals that has the whisper of some element which is timeless. And that element of that which is timeless there cannot be an object. Every object, sight, sound, smells, taste and touch, arises, stays for a while and passes. We can know enough expansiveness of our heart and our awareness to accommodate this world. To allow this world to pass through awareness, to pass through this expansiveness. And sometimes, as mentioned, when the world is not imposing on us, and we are not imposing on the world, there's an opportunity just to rest in this expansive awareness. And there is something timeless about it. And if there's something timeless about it, go deeply with it, timeless about it, it will show it cannot have a beginning, middle or end. We develop our senses to know liberation.